people were more aware of what the dangers are of certain things like vaccinations, like wearing a mask, they would be not so keen or positive to just say yes so quickly and maybe think about it. Not even just say no, but at least think about it for a moment.
With several billion members, the human race is divided in two distinct sexes, male and female. While men are simple creatures requiring only the most rudimentary of emotional needs to be satisfied, there is a subgroup classified as the nice guy, a dying breed of chivalrous, romantic, domesticated gentlemen whose qualities are desired by the opposite sex. Allegedly. However, they are dismissed, scoffed, and confined in such concepts as the bestie, work husband, and the dreaded friend zone.
You don't think this is a little bit too dramatic? Just let it happen.
Joe and Jason are the last of the nice guys.
Hey everybody, how you doing? What's going on? Good night. Good
hey Joe, how are you?
Good morning, good night, good afternoon. How is everyone doing? Glad you can stop by. Go fuck yourselves. I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
I'm just joking. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for tuning in to the last of the nice guys, because it's my fault for delaying the content as far as we have been doing it. I put all the blame out there.
Episode was published on May 22nd.
My fault.
Almost also a full month.
Yes. So also my fault for actually having this dim light, but it brings out my eyes, so I don't really care. Anyway, I'm Joe, everybody, with my fantastic brother.
I'm Jason, and those are contacts he's wearing.
He knows it's not real. He's just jealous. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. So, we kind of have, no, not kind of, but we have a lot to talk about. At least I kind of, didn't really tell Jade I wanted to talk about a few things today, but we have a specific recording from I guess like a TikTok person.
I could say TikTok. I could assume it came from TikTok.
It was TikTok.
It did come from TikTok. It's from The Life of Vic. Now THA Life of Vic, VIC. So that's the user. We're gonna play his audio clip in just a minute. Before we get to whatever Pretty Eyes over here is gonna discuss, we got two comments, brief comments that we got from our last episode, vaccinate or not to vaccinate. That is the question. Charlena, thanks for checking us out. She says yes to vaccinate, but pretty thought-provoking. So they listened, they still say yes to vaccinate, but they thought that what we were saying was thought-provoking. So thank you, Charlena, for listening. I really appreciate it. And my main man, DJ Danger, okay, he actually was my DJ partner back in the day. Before Vibe Rev Studios, there was Dr. J and DJ Danger, the dynamic duo. Yes, Dr. J and DJ Danger, the dynamic duo. And we were kind of cool. We were hot stuff, man. We did some stuff for WBRY, Barry University Radio. So he actually commented not vaccinate. So thanks, Danger, for listening. We really appreciate it. So there you go. So it's funny, two comments, one pro, one no, which is really funny because the vaccination topic is a very polarizing topic, and it's kind of split down the middle. And it's funny that we only got two comments, yes and no. So I would love to hear more from you people with commenting. So hit us.
I guess it's one of those touchy subjects like religion. where people are not too sure how they can interpret that.
At
But
this
then
day and
again,
age, every topic is a touchy topic, so I don't know what you're talking about.
that's true. But look, you're right. You know what? Let me take it back. You're absolutely right, 100% right. Every topic that we talk about is very touchy. And there are a lot of people who agree and disagree with a lot of things that we say, which is normal and fine. However, I still think that if people were more aware uh, of what the dangers are of certain things like vaccinations, like wearing a mask, which, by the way, I will chime on that part in like 5 minutes because I have something to tell you. I think that if they knew the dangers of these things, they would be not so keen or positive to just say yes so quickly and maybe think about it. Not even just say no, but at least think about it for a moment. Like,
But
this
I
is
mean
a good idea.
that's all we ever ask though for is you don't have to agree with us. What we say is controversial. What we say might be a bit out there, but what we say is an attempt to open your mind. That's all we ask is for you guys to think for yourself and stop following the status quo. And if you're gonna follow status quo, at least do some critical thinking first, then follow status quo. That's all, if we're not complaining about women, we're actually asking you to keep your mind open. So that's all.
Right, right, right. Absolutely. And so yeah, that's something that I have been trying to do as I guess a truther for many years, just trying to make people understand the good and bad sides of certain things that have been going on that people are not aware of. And what I was mentioning before we get into our main topic was that I've been getting actually more than ever, Jay. In the past 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, I should say, I've been
You're
getting
getting
a
a
lot of
lot of hate mail.
no, yeah, right. I've been getting a lot of mask shaming.
What do you mean?
So I know you sound interested,
No,
as was
I've never heard
I.
that term. What is
Um,
mask shaming?
well, it's becoming all right. So the other night, I live in New York. So the other night, people don't know about that by now. The other
Like,
night, I
yeah,
had
'cause I was gonna say you live in New York.
you're an idiot. So the other night, I had a couple of friends over. Um, on Sunday, actually, I'm sorry, we did a barbecue thing, and towards the end, we had like four of them that were left. We had an interesting discussion, and I was told by the two of my friends that were there that they were subjects of what he was saying mask shaming, and I was like, the fuck is that? What the fuck is mask shaming? He was like, well, it's pretty much when you're not wearing one or you have one that's like not on you fully, and people are
Uh-huh.
shaming you for that. They're basically saying, hey, fuck you doing with no mask on? Why do you have it on halfway? What's your problem? Like calling them out, embarrassing them in front of people. That's if you're there. Oh, sorry, my phone just fell. And pretty my phone just fell right the fuck down. And yeah, and pretty much just like completely like just embarrassing them in public. It's a real thing. I didn't know about it. I've never been a victim of it. I had somebody tell me that I'm not wearing a proper mask. And to me, like, of course, me and you think we hear this and we laugh hysterically in our heads because we know no matter what fucking mask you wear, it's not doing anything for you. So, um, I didn't want to go ahead and have a whole scientific medical discussion with this person
Right.
that told me, hey, you're not wearing a right mask because I have a mask where I pull it up from my neck over my nose, which I
Right.
prefer that, even though it's a joke altogether. But yeah, it's a real thing, and I didn't really put like the words mask shaming into it until I was explained about it on Sunday night, and I was like, oh shit, it makes sense. Like people shaming you for not wearing a mask or for
Yeah.
wearing a mask improperly, and
Yep.
that to me is where we at, ladies and gentlemen, in society. we
Yep.
are at a we are at such a low level
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
people are snitching on other people for not wearing a proper mask, shaming them.
Hmm.
Like we have reached a whole new low beyond belief. And by the way, for the viewers and Jay, if you hear anything behind me that's like loud, for some odd reason, the past 5 nights in a row, these motherfuckers have been laying fireworks left and right
That
in
is
Brooklyn.
funny because I just saw a post on a post on Facebook and it says, "Why do y'all motherfuckers have to bust firecrackers every night?" And I
Every
laugh.
fucking night. For people who live in other countries and other states of America, I don't know what's going on. Every single night here in Brooklyn, New York, where I live, I've been hearing firecrackers in the distance. Now I can't. Sometimes I can't even distinguish whether or not they're gunshots or fireworks.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that.
They're probably both. They're
It's
probably
probably
both.
it's pop 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 kaboom.
Yeah, it's pop pop pop, and then at the end. But sometimes that never happens, so it's just pop pop pop. But yeah, dude, I can't, man. I had like an argument today on Facebook about it, about the whole mask thing. I had a friend of mine. Well, yeah, a friend of mine who I don't really speak to on a regular, like only through Facebook. He was out in the city, I think, this past weekend. Very beautiful out. Chilling with like 4 or 5 of his friends. He took a picture, like a selfie of everybody. Not one person was wearing a mask or social distancing, like they were saying that they had to do. And the entire comments were flooded with him being like, "Yo, you gotta put your mask on, man. The fuck is wrong with you? You gotta put your mask on." And I've seen so many posts of that on my feed that it makes me cringe, and B,
Yeah.
I want to say something, and the times that I didn't, I just held back because I was like, I can't do this. But this post in general, I had to say something, and I argued with this one girl, and it was the most liberating thing because
Of
I
course
had
for
to
you.
I had to go ahead. No, because I had to go ahead, and look, if you know me, you know that I'm a very honorable man when it comes to, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will shut the fuck up. I will tell you you're right. That goes with anything. That could be a topic. That could be our topic on our podcast, about women, about dating. I will be wrong and face up the heat, and I'll be like, look, I'm wrong. You're right. Whatever. That also includes everything outside of life. When it comes to like scientific things, medical things. Like if I know something because I've done research or looked it up or read something that most people don't do nowadays is read. I start learning more shit than I've ever learned before, and I'm very I love the fact that I can learn a lot and learn new things. It's very interesting to me. So what I've learned the past couple of months, just by reading, just by this common sense reading, you can see that people that have a higher degree than me in a lot of other fields have put this to the test and said that, look, there's no factual evidence that a mask can help you um, can help you when it comes to preventing a disease or a virus. There's no evidence about it out there, at least none whatsoever. There are several people, and even the fucking box that the surgical masks come in. They had to put this. Jay, did you know they had to put this Surgeon General warning? Like, how they put the warning on cigarettes on
Yeah.
cartons? They had to put one of those on the fucking surgical masks that people are wearing. It states on the fucking box. It says, like basically, pretty much, if you wear this, it's not preventing you, or it's not preventing you from getting COVID. It says it. It's not preventing you from getting
Well,
any other
yeah,
disease.
yeah. I mean, I think we discussed this, and I said very
We did.
clearly, it's not necessarily debunking the fact that it doesn't work. It's they're covering their own ass because if a person wearing this mask and they claim they wore it 24 hours a day, every single day in the bed, then gets COVID, they can't be sued. So it's not even just like throwing a wrench into the bullshit that is, wear masks and 6 feet distancing. It's basically the company saying, listen, we can't guarantee this stuff. We're gonna make sure that if we're not held liable, if somebody wears our mask and still gets it anyway, which is a very high possibility anyway. So yeah,
Exactly.
so yeah,
Exactly. My
a
point
possibility.
exactly. So, with that being said, I just had to point that out there before we went into our main topic because it's I in this whole quarantine pandemic thing has made me realize in a way that I cannot tolerate a lot of people. I cannot tolerate a lot of people. I cannot change them. I cannot change their minds. I cannot force them to think a certain way. Not to say that I was trying to do that, but a little part of me was, in a sense, because I
Right, you were
wanted.
trying to fight the good fight. You just wanted the people in your circle just to be more aware, or at least open-minded. And
Right,
yeah, it's a hell of a thing when you realize that it's there's just people that are just they're gonna follow. They have their entire worldview depends on accepting the world as they're told it is, and that's the issue. And that's what you're running into. You're running into the fact that they can't handle it. They don't want to hear it. Um,
right,
and they are. It's called. I think it's called cognitive dissonance. I forget the term. I think it's cognitive dissonance, and basically where these people they're so dependent upon their worldview that they cannot and will not change the way they think, no matter what you present to them, because even if whether you're right or wrong, they won't entertain or have a discussion
right.
with you because they can't. It'll destroy their worldview. They'll literally psychologically lose it subconsciously or consciously. So that's what it is.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. If it's not part of their narrative, then they don't either A, don't want to hear it, or B, they're not going to agree. It has to be a part of their narrative. It has to be something that fits their criteria in life. And if it doesn't, and you go against that criteria or that narrative that they believe in, it's a problem. There's no going down a different road every now and then. There's always just one fucking road, straight ahead, 90 miles an hour like an idiot, not turning, not going anywhere, but one fucking road. And that's their way of thinking. And it's sad
Yeah.
that they think that way. But again, we're not here to fucking change their minds, so it doesn't matter at this point. Um,
Yeah, I
there's,
mean, yeah,
there's,
I've told you plenty of times that I've given up. I had to because the it was stressing me out. And this is before COVID. This is before social distancing. Other things that I that I may or may not believe in, and it would stress me the hell out just trying to have a discussion. Forget about trying to convince you of anything. I couldn't have the discussion with certain people. That was it. Whether it was they were so close-minded, or whether they would sit there and just their immediate thing to go to is to ridicule you or dismiss you, and or belittle you, whether they mean it like that or not. It gets tiring. So and you're the mass shaming thing you're talking about is a symptom of that very issues that we have. You're shaming somebody for not following the status quo, a status quo that you don't understand yourself, that you were just told, and you're following because you were told.
right,
That's
right.
it. You didn't ask any
That's it.
questions.
Yeah,
You didn't
nothing.
ask any follow-ups. You just, all right, I'm told to do this. Cool, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. Well, the experts. Well, who are the experts? You know what I'm saying? Did you ask that question? Who told you? Okay, or that wearing the masks will prevent or help prevent the spread. Okay, fine. Who told them? And who told them? And what studies were? Show me something. You see what I'm saying? We don't have
right.
that because nobody
Nothing.
asked the questions. All they have
Nothing.
to hear is scientists say, doctors say, the experts say, and nobody ever
Yeah,
asked the question: Who are these people? Under what
yeah.
circumstances? Where are you getting this from? Or is there any health? What are the health risks of breathing in your own carbon dioxide over and over and over and over again?
Over and over.
You
This
know,
is something they don't know. Yeah, yeah,
and that's the
absolutely.
thing. And then there's one thing. And not even listen. Surgeons don't even wear these things for 8 hours a day. They wear it for as long as the duration of the surgery is, and then they take it off, or they swap out, or whatever it is. I mean, you're telling
Yeah,
people, to wear masks, stay indoors. When you go outdoors, outside, you need to wear a mask. No matter what the temperature is, no matter what the conditions are outside, no matter what you're doing, and then if not, it behooves you to be a good citizen and to, put down somebody who doesn't follow the status quo, or who doesn't have a mask, or doesn't have the proper mask, or who doesn't want to wear the mask.
Right.
And again, the mask protects you, not anybody else per se. So if you're wearing a mask, good for you. You don't have to be worried about what else everybody else is doing. As long as you're doing what you feel like you need to do, that's it. Simple as that. It's funny, and then people get upset, and they start, you know, chastising somebody who gets upset. So there was this one thing. This is one video I watched. This lady was in a, I think it was a Starbucks. She didn't have a mask on, and she was just picking up her order. Wasn't staying, picking up. She already ordered, picked it up, walked in, was walking out. Before the camera, at least maybe they cut it out, because I don't know what set the lady off in general. But
Right.
when the video picks up, she's cursing out this other person because they were telling her she wasn't wearing a mask. She got so she got so irate by the end of this video that after she got her cup of coffee or whatever it is, she went over to the person chastising her and started coughing on them, and then walked out. Now, is that fucked up? Absolutely. But the thing is, though, that the video began in the middle of what it was. I don't know what that lady with the mask was saying to her. And you know who's listening to us right now is going to say, well, it doesn't matter. She wasn't wearing a mask. Give me a break. Give me a break. It's still a free country.
It
Okay?
is.
It's still
It
a free
is.
country. I want to say this very clearly. And whether the recommendation to wear a mask is factual or not, you should have the right to choose and then suffer the consequences on your own. Simple as that. Everybody has their own consequences to suffer. Okay, as long as you're doing what you need to do, don't worry about nobody else. Mind your business. So we don't know what set her off to go to the far, but oh, she's terrible, and cops are gonna now ID her and try and, what are you gonna, for assault? Something like that? Yeah, it says that cops are looking at the video and are trying to ID who this lady is,
Wow.
because she was
Wow.
she was provoked, regardless of the reason. And unfortunately, she took it to a little too far, or too far in their narrative.
Right.
Are you serious? Now, I would have loved to see the video in its entirety. What was said to this lady to make her go get that upset that before she leaves she had to go in and cough? Again, not saying it's right or wrong, but you can't just say, oh, she's messed up. You have to ask, how did it happen? Why did it happen? She didn't wear a mask. Yes, but that's not what caused her to curse out this lady who was wearing a mask. It was something that was said. She was provoked. Okay, unless you
Yeah.
tell me she was a nut
Yeah.
job. Again, I'm not condoning, but I'm not condemning either. I'm just keeping it very, very clear.
Yeah.
So this mass shaming thing, which is funny because it happened. Um, I think somebody told somebody that I knew. I didn't know that's what it was. Same concept. Walked in. They had the mask on, but I think she was going to the bathroom, and she's like, "I'm not wearing my mask in the bathroom. I have to take that thing off." And when she walked out of the bathroom, she was putting it back on, and somebody was giving her a hard time about it. And
Yeah. It's
and
terrible.
and she's like, "Well, I have my mask. I'm not gonna wear my mask while I'm in the toilet. It's not gonna happen. I'll take it off. I'm in my little stall, but after I wash my hands, I put it back on and move it forward." I don't know why anybody would want to be masked up while you're doing your business in the toilet. No,
Yeah. It's terrible. It's
it
a
just
terrible,
so
terrible way. Yeah. It's awful.
it's unfortunate, and it's funny because this all you're doing is showing the powers that be that any stupid ass rule that they give you, not only will you follow it without question, but you will peer pressure, degrade, belittle, insult, and intimidate those who don't follow it, and that's a damn shame.
It
I don't
is.
make you right now. Any of you out there with your mask bullshit, and remember, I have a mask. I just posted pictures of me with my mask. I'm only doing it because I have because I'm not gonna I'm gonna follow rules for the institution that I'm going to. If that business says wear a mask, okay, that's fine. As long as the sign is up, I will follow that. My day job says wear a mask, fine. It's my day job. Other than that, I'm not wearing a mask if I don't have to. It's too much, and it's not
It
your
is.
business why I choose not to. Well, you need to
Yeah.
protect it. No, no, stop it, stop it. It's not. No, please don't, please don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone said recently that the same on Facebook, the same stance that we have, me and you have on this. Someone said to somebody else who was also trying to shame that person for the mask thing was that he was like, he goes to them, your fear is not my problem. He's like,
That is beautiful.
He's like, your fear, and I this is like a month ago. I don't know why I didn't tell you this sooner, but I just hit me as you were just saying what you were saying, because he was so beautifully and brilliantly saying this, because he had a little argument with somebody who he was bringing up scientific facts, including medical facts, as to why it's very harmful for you to be wearing your mask, especially outdoors when you're driving, especially, which is honestly the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that is dumb. When I see somebody driving with a mask on, I'm just like, what are you doing?
Very, very fucking dangerous. And you are putting other people in harm's way, by the way, by doing that. Just letting the folks know out there, you are doing that. And also people jogging and exercising with it on. Another way for you to pass out and fucking end up in the hospital for numerous reasons because of the fact that you're wearing that. But he put this so perfectly and just so elegant. Your fear is not my problem. And this goes along with exactly what you said, Jay. If people want to wear it, that's their prerogative. That's their thing. You want to wear it while you're driving. You want to wear it while you're exercising. You take the consequences that's going to come with you, because it has been known to be harmful to you and you don't care. So that is your decision, right? And if you don't want to listen to nobody else that tells you that it's harmful, which, by the way, that should be a good thing. If I'm telling you something and I don't even know who you are, that means I have a little bit of concern for you, which is not even that. Which is
not even just that. But I mean, like, if somebody, I don't care. I mean, as long as they didn't look like a nut job. If somebody told me something I'm doing is harmful, or I should look into that a little more, I would just for precaution look into it. Yeah. Even if I found it's a bunch of bull crap, I would be like, well, let me just for a little bit. Okay, cool. Just for my own peace of mind. So if I'm telling you, hey, listen, wearing a mask too much could be harmful to you, maybe you should just look it up. What are the risks and the benefits of wearing a mask for any amount of length of time consistently? What will that do to you? Because I'm telling you right now, for me, when I wear a mask too long without breathing some actual real air, I begin to get claustrophobic feeling. I begin to get fainting. I begin to sweat from my brow.
Yeah.
I begin to I begin to have like a really weird respiratory distress thing after a while. Yeah. Like I'm just like, because it's just back. I mean, honestly,
yeah, it's detrimental.
It can't be healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be healthy. There's a reason why your body exhales this stuff into the air, and when you breathe it, but to be breathing it back in like that for any amount of time, consistently, day in, day out, there's got to be something unhealthy about that.
Yeah.
It's just carbon dioxide. No.
It's sad. It really is sad, man. You shouldn't. Bottom line, you shouldn't be wearing one if you're a healthy person. Okay, you should not be wearing one 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I agree. I think mask wearing should be limited to those who are at risk. If you are at risk, wear a mask. If you're not at risk, or you're not at risk of or you're not with somebody that's at risk, then you shouldn't have to be required to wear one. You shouldn't.
And you shouldn't. And you know what's funny? We shouldn't even be wearing one. Period. If you want to go further, we shouldn't. I mean, honestly speaking, the fucking mortality rate of this is what, like, practically nothing. I mean, before this whole shit even happened, no one was fucking wearing them for the flu season, and
exactly.
The flu season was fucking crazy. Killed millions of people. The flu.
Yep.
Millions.
Yep.
What the fuck did we reach? A couple. Not even. I'm not even sure what the fucking number.
I don't know. I think they said 200,000 deaths so far. I think that's what they claim now, but.
Out of the entire look, I'm not.
And again, every unnecessary death is a shame. But again,
yes,
we have the common cold, the flu season, other diseases kill more people yearly. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why are we putting so much on the coronavirus? Because the media is saying so. Now I bet you if they said, oh my God, the flu is crazy, then the flu would be the thing. It's all about it's in the end, when something happens, and mind you, COVID-19, though the second wave is coming, that's not what's the top of the news right now. It's the writing that's on top of the news right now. Who's talking about COVID? No, it's just it's the writing. Now the news is about disbanding police. So I'm just saying, like, is it only real if the media says it's real? Is it only a situation that we need to be concerned about if the media says so? You have to ask yourself this question.
It's
It's
a yeah. It's crazy.
it's the
That's so
funniest
fucking
thing.
crazy. Yeah.
But I mean, I just think mass shaming is just another excuse for people to bully other people. That's
Yeah.
it.
It's a real thing,
It's
and I had.
it's just one more excuse to bully other people and to feel superior to somebody. To feel like you command somebody. You're not wearing a mask, puff it up your
Yeah.
chest. For what?
Yeah. Now, can you imagine? Even though I don't want to think about this at all, but can you imagine like schools were reopened and certain parents don't have their kids wearing one? The amount of bullying, the amount of more bullying that could
Oh please.
happen.
They're not even gonna let you they're not even gonna let the kid go to school. What are you
That's what
talking
I'm
about?
saying. That's
Yeah, I
what I'm
mean
saying.
they're not even let the kids go. Oh shit, they don't need to wear a mask. Well, kid can't come to school. And then if kid can't go to school, you get they put you up on charges for I forget what it's called, not child neglect, but it's something. Because if you don't take your kid to school and you're not registered as homeschooled, you're it's against the law.
Yeah.
So I
That's
mean,
that's that's
and they can take your kid away just because you don't take them to school. They can be fed, happy, healthy, great. They go to school, they get taken away because it's just as bad as just like child abuse. So no, even if school comes back next year, um, it's gonna come back. But yeah, everyone's have to wear masks. But at the same time, how you gonna do that? Because you can't. So how most schools can't social distance. They don't have that kind of space to social distance. How's that gonna work out? How's that gonna work?
which is probably not going to work at all.
Nope.
which
Nope.
means yeah, which means I guess my kid's getting homeschooled.
And on that note, we're gonna move on at the half an hour mark. See, I knew this whole mass shaming was gonna take up a good chunk.
I know, but
Um,
it had to be said.
it had to be said. That's why this episode is partly called mask shaming. Now, yep, that's it. So, all right, I submitted this video to. First, I got it from my friend Holly. Hal, thanks so much because she knows these things get under my skin. It's from the TikTok. He does. It's from the TikTok user The Life of Vic, THALIFEOFVIC, and I just want to play it for you guys one whole minute, then we're gonna discuss it.
This is strictly for the ladies. I have a question. All right. So, I was talking to this girl, right, for a couple of weeks. Everything was going good. We're vibing, we're talking, everything's cool, right? Or at least I thought.
He said vibing.
And then one random day, she just decides to fucking block me and just ghost me, and that's that. It's a wrap. So I'm just sitting here, I'm like, what the fuck? What's the reason for that? Like, you literally wasted my fucking time for no reason. Shit like that just makes me want to fucking find your address and just strangle your bitch ass. Like, if you had no intentions of
We don't
furthering
condone
things, why won't
female
you
violence.
just grow a pair of fucking nuts and let me know instead of just fucking misleading my ass? See, that's why talking to a girl and getting serious, that shit never lasts. That's the reason why is we fucking is all I ever ask. Fuck out of here, man. I'm fucking.
All right.
Well,
So
he's got a
basically,
great point, man.
he,
I
he
love the
does have a
fact that
great
he
point.
does that. Yeah,
And it's
great.
very real, and you could tell that this guy that it just happened to this dude because he says it with such conviction, like this just happened to him, and it's a shame, and unfortunately, I mean, it's ghosting. It's ghosting. It's female ghosting. It's what they do, and it's the weirdest thing because you will be vibing with a chick, and you think that like you and her are like off the chain, and you're excited, and you're like, yeah, you're putting time into it. You're planning a date. You may or may not have sent her flowers, and then all of a sudden, it's happened to me. There was this girl that I was trying to talk to, and she lived in Chicago, and well, I met her down here, but she moved to Chicago, and it's funny because we were going to Chicago, and
Right.
remember I told you that
Yeah.
guys, one of the nights I'm dipping out, I'm taking her out on a rooftop date. I told you guys this. I warned you guys this. I think it was Saturday or whenever we ended up going to that non-karaoke bar. It was supposed to
Yeah.
be that night, and
Not karaoke bar. Yeah.
we were talking, right? We were talking, we were vibing. I asked her to be my Valentine. I sent her flowers and a big ass, one of those big ass bears. Like it was really sweet, and so we're talking, but then as it got a little closer to me coming to Chicago, whenever I would compliment her or whatever, she just wouldn't respond. So one day, 3 weeks out, I believe, 3 weeks out from Chicago, I said, "Hey, listen, you tend to just disappear mid conversation, and it's weird, especially whenever I compliment. I mean, are you uncomfortable with me complimenting you? Like, I'm a big boy. You can let me know." I haven't heard from her since. Never,
Ghosted.
never responded to that text message. I never texted her back again. I went to Chicago with my brothers. Did not reach out to her. Did not tell her I was in. I mean, she knew I was in town. She saw it all over my story feed because she was looking at my story feed. Um, did not reach out to me. I didn't reach out to her. I said, "Listen, what am I gonna do? What? Why I put all this effort for what? And either I'm gonna reach out to you so I can take you out on a $200 rooftop like the dinner when you can't even respond to my text message and like a woman. Forget you, man. I haven't spoken to her since. So I get it. I get it. You luckily you found your other half, but you went through the same thing probably in the past when it
I
comes to
have.
women
Yeah.
ghosting you for no reason or no reason
I've
that
had.
you're aware of.
Well, yeah. Well, that. I've been on both spectrums though. I've been the one that has been ghosted, and I
Right.
have been the one doing the ghosting.
Okay.
Um. So
So you're
I.
so Joe's part of the
Yeah.
problem, ladies and gentlemen.
I
Or
am
he
part of the
was, or he
problem.
was.
Well, yeah, was. I'm sorry. But yeah, I was both. I think so. My perspective on it, from a man's view, totally probably different than a woman's view.
All right, well,
Me,
let's start here then. You have ghosted females before, fine. What was your excuse for ghosting a female?
so okay. So how about this? Before I answer that question, let me just ask you a quick question. Now, can ghosting also involve you doing things with that woman,
Uh-huh.
in the beginning, and then going ahead and like kind of like dipping out or just completely vanishing? Like for
Yeah.
example, so that counts
Ghost
as ghosting too?
ghosting has no statute of limitation. You could be full on dating the person and just ghost them. You could be talking to them via text and ghost them. Ghosting basically is no matter what relationship you have with them, you just immediately stop and disappear with no explanation.
Okay,
That's ghosting.
so all right, I had a okay, so I have a story like you do. I had an instance, right? So what happened was, back in, I
Okay, I'm
want to
sorry. Let,
say,
let me just let me just give you real quick. The definition of ghosting is the practice of ending a personal relationship with someone by suddenly and without explanation withdrawing from all communication. That is ghosting. Carry on.
is
No,
that
no,
is that wait, is that an actual
that's the
Google?
definition. Yeah, that's the definition. Yep.
I had no idea that was even a definition.
Oh
Wow, an
God, you
actual definition.
everything,
Oh
everything.
my God,
Yeah.
2020, everybody. So excuse me. So yeah, I have a story similar to, well, not similar to yours, but I was at back in the day, probably like maybe in 2015. I want, yeah, 2015. Um, I was working two jobs at the time. I had a day job and I had a night job. My night job consisted of a retail store called Club Monaco. Now it was a very high end store. I was doing something. I forgot what I was doing, but
You
it
said
was
the
just, it was
store's name was Chlamydia?
no, yeah. Club Monaco. So
Okay.
anyway, it was a retail
Sounds
store.
like a
It was
rash.
it sounds like a fucking actual club. It was, no, they had really nice people there. It was great. One person in particular. Oh, mind you, by the way, there was like, I don't want to get in trouble for this, but there was like a lot of women in that store that
Asians?
even you would have been like, I want to live here. Like even you would have been like that. Like it was very.
What do you mean by even me? I mean, I appreciate the female species.
No, of course. What I'm saying is like, I mean, you. I only worked that job just to gain money. Period. My
Right.
passion was not anything related to what I was doing. I didn't give a fuck. I just wanted to get my paycheck, the extra paycheck that I was getting, and
Right.
then go home. So what I'm saying is like by what I'm saying by the comment, but when I said even you was that you would have been the same. You would have been feeling the same way or doing the same thing. You would have been like, I'm not here for anything else but the paycheck and to look at these women because this is exactly what I'm here for. So back then I had that mentality. There was one woman in particular that I don't want to say her name. She she took interest, and at the beginning I took interest, but there was something that I was not feeling. I may have not told you this, by the way, off air, Jay, but maybe I did. And there was a lot of things going on. We ended up. I don't think we ended up doing any dates. I don't think we did any. Oh, we did one. I'm sorry, we did one. There was one date. Went to the beach because it was during summer. We had one date, and after that, there was no other dates. It was just like doing stuff, working together, talking, going to each other's houses. I think something
I
like
know
that.
that's right.
Right, but then Hispanic girl. So then there was just something was off with me about her. It was like there was really no other type of connection than what was
The
going on.
physical, right.
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 And I really felt nothing. Like I felt like I was wasting my time in a way. And not to say that this doesn't take away the fact that she was a bad person. She was amazing. Like she had a very good personality. Great. But there was just something that was off. I just wasn't feeling it. And I guess one day, and this is like probably, yeah, this was the same time I was actually working there, which back then I think I was like a real badass about this. Like I was still working at the place when I ghosted this person, which
Oh
was
my God. How do you
which,
do that? How do
which
you
was
do that?
weird. I don't know, but it was so fucking weird. So I had to,
Sorry.
I had to, I had to muster up the energy and the balls to first give out a hint or two, obvious ones, by saying, "Look, I'm really not looking for anything serious right now." So, I kind of just want to just chill and hang out. I just want to just do my own thing. I don't want to have any type of locking down type of scenario. And by the way, to piggyback the whole locking down comment, it felt like that was happening because I would get the, oh, what are you doing? Oh, are you who you with? Like who are you with? Questions, and
Oh.
there was no type of relationship whatsoever. None. There was nothing. There was no agreement to us being together. Nothing. 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 So
Yeah,
after,
but some yeah, but if you're getting it in, and it's I don't want to say yeah, if it's consistent, if you're consistently if I'm just saying if you're consistently getting it in, I'm saying though, it stops being casual and it starts being more like I must be like your woman because you're.
well, yeah, that okay, yeah, a lot of people, especially women, feel that way and think that way, but it really, I felt nothing of that
That's
nature.
why I always say you need to have the conversation. No, don't
Yeah,
assume. You
yes,
need to have the
yes.
conversation, but
But
most
it was a quick. But you're right. But it was like a quick. It was a quick. Like I said, it was like hints being thrown, but obvious ones. And then it was just like, all right, I need to like just stop. I gotta stop. So when the text messages and calls were happening, I would make excuses or just not answer. And unbeknownst to me, I still forgot that she was on schedule when I was on schedule certain days at night to work at the same place we were working at. Finally, I think the same month that I had ghosted this person, I went ahead and kind of left the job, which was great on my part because I didn't have to deal with anything no more. And when I did that, it kind of made things a lot easier
well, of
because
course.
then
Listen. I don't. You didn't ghost her. You friggin' haunted her. There's a difference.
yeah, but no, I didn't. I should have been the one, and I get what this guy is saying about the girl because it makes perfect sense. Have enough balls to just say
Yeah, say what you mean and mean what you say, right?
Say what you mean and mean what you say. The obvious common sense thing that you should do, which most people don't, is that you should just be like, look, I'm not really interested in that. I'm not sure I want to take this any further. I'd appreciate it if we just either I would have been friends with her still, even remain friends, or B, just kind of like, if you can't handle any of that, or it's not something that you're comfortable with, just go our separate ways. And it was nice knowing you. But I didn't do any of that, and I don't regret it. Obviously, I don't regret it right now because it's what's done is done. But I get what he's saying. Like, have enough, have the balls to go ahead and pick up. And it makes sense. It does. It makes sense. And I have been ghosted too, like you, like in that scenario that you were talking about.
Yeah.
But not so much like in the other state though, but like,
Well, I mean, that was one of like, I mean, that's the most. It's not necessarily the most recent example, but it's an example that I think about because, you felt comfortable enough to let me, buy you crap for Valentine's Day, and then you just kind of dip out. Like, yeah. I mean, I was digging this girl, and it was clear because here's the thing, and it's not even just me. We were talking, and as we were talking, she did your video disappear? Oh, okay.
Sorry.
As we were talking, she in one conversation she mentioned she was single 3 times. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm just like,
Yes.
why is she? I mean, we flirted every once in a while. It was just harmless because like you're in Chicago now. I'm here. It doesn't mean anything. Plus I knew you were dating someone. But yeah, she had mentioned it 3 times in one conversation. And I'm just like, this screams "ask me out, stupid." That's what it sounded like to me. So I said, okay, well, let me start spinning some game, and she was receptive, and we were joking, we would flirt, and it seemed like she was interested. So it comes to the conclusion. I come to the conclusion that maybe she just wanted the attention. She liked the attention, and when she finally either found somebody else that was close by, or maybe got back with whoever it was, and that was the end of that. Instead of just being honest and saying, listen, I'm not digging it, or I'm back with somebody else, and then of course ghosting, but still watching my social media. Like what is that about?
That to me is the funniest thing that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Why do that? Why do that?
Of course, why? Because why not? Why not? You want to see, well, is he still dating somebody? Is he dating somebody now? If he is, if he isn't, then good, he's on the back burner. So whenever I need him to come back around, there you go. But
there he is.
Ghosting is absolutely. I've never ghosted anyone. I've never ghosted it. I've dismissed you. So in other words, but I'll let you know about yourself, and then I'm gone. So you know why I've disappeared. I've never ghosted anybody ever. It's just not my style because if I feel the need, you're gonna hear my mouth. You're gonna hear my words. I need you to know why because I don't need you sitting there thinking, oh, he's a piece of shit. No. I want you to know this is what I didn't appreciate, or this is what I'm feeling, and I'm gone. So, but it's happened to me a couple of times, and then the ghosting becomes haunting, which then becomes cycle women who cycle in and out of your life. They come in, they give you, they want to get a little bit of your attention, then they disappear again all over again. And of course, yes, it's partially the guy's fault or my fault for even entertaining them when they come back around, which is why it's something you need to learn. Like, hey, listen, if somebody ghosts you, there's no statute of limitation. You need to just say, okay, no, this person ghosted me. Do not let them back into your life again. Do not speak to them again. Have that respect for yourself. Have that I don't know, that resolve that it doesn't matter. I don't care, how hot she was or how pretty she was. If they did it to you once, they'll probably do it again, and it's habitual. So I call them cycle women. So here's another example. This one Asian girl, pretty girl that I dated a while ago, and we talk on and off over and over. But when she disappears, I let her disappear. So we were talking and I was like, let's hang out. I thought we were on the way back to potentially dating again, but then she started being really weird with the text messages and not respond. Sometimes she wouldn't answer in days. Actually, the longest she went not answering one of my texts was 3.5 weeks, dog. 3.5 weeks, and she answered like if I had just sent her the message. And I replied with, "Are you serious? That is the longest." I said, "That is the longest delay ever."
She's like, let me get back to him real quick. It's been 2 weeks.
She's like, oh well, I've been working. I've been busy for 3.5. I said, you know what? I said okay, and that was it. So I didn't reply after that. So, I'm not.
How the fuck do you get away with something like that? Like
I
as
know.
a person.
No, not even how you get away with it. How do you think that's okay? Why do you think that's okay? Why do you think that's okay? You know, it doesn't make any sense. Why do you? If I don't respond to you, I let me choose it right now. I could never, in my personal mind, out of shame, I could never reach back out, knowing that I was ignoring you or that I ghosted you. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't do it unless I'm apologizing and I'm not expecting a response.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
like 3 weeks?
Yeah. So it's okay.
3 fucking
So
weeks.
I didn't respond. So then she sends me because I know her son. When he was younger. So then she sends me a random picture of her son, like 2 weeks later. I look at it and I'm like, what? Okay, and I move on. I don't reply. 4 days later, which is very recently, she sends me 4 photos. Two of her, looking good. Look, I don't know what she was doing. Maybe she's just dressing up for herself. One picture. Hold on.
Let me go back and fucking see.
No, because it was odd. Hold on. I'll be right there. Like, where is it? There she is.
As Jason's looking for
There
this
she is.
picture.
Okay, there she is. It was It was 3 pictures of her dressed up in a dress, and then like a fourth picture. Maybe I don't know if she meant to send it to me of her and I guess 2 friends, selfie. And again, I look at these photos. I'm just like, why are you sending this to me?
Is there something mentally wrong with her?
No, no. So, and I didn't respond to that either. I'm like, what? I have nothing to say. I'm tired. If you want me around for any particular, you will show me. But if you're just gonna, if you think I'm just some guy that you can just toss aside every couple of days, every couple of weeks, and then come back around when you're bored, yeah, I'm not that guy. I haven't been that guy in a long time. I was that guy. I wouldn't lie. I was that guy. Poor hapless
That's
bastard.
not fucking weird to you though, Jay?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just the idea. Think about it. Just the idea of not talking to you for a week or 2 or 3, and then just sending you pictures, not even saying anything.
Yeah.
Was there anything said?
Nope.
Like there was just pictures.
Nope. Just pictures.
That's not
just
like,
pictures.
That's not like a fucking mental thing going on. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm looking at it in my perspective and my point of view, but
No, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a mental thing. I think she's just trying to get my attention. So she tried to get my attention with her.
Fucking say something then if you're gonna get
right.
that attention.
Well, right,
say
but
something.
I don't. What is she gonna say? What is she really gonna say to me? You know what I'm
Hey,
saying? Like,
I'm sorry I didn't contact you for 3 weeks. I've been busy. Even make up a lie. Oh, I've been like fucking like falling in a ditch every 2 weeks. Like say something.
I'm quite. I know you're saying, but I don't think she's not. I don't know, man. I'm not trying to think, but I know it's just trying to get my attention.
Well,
first,
listen,
it's to show me how the son is, and then next it's and she knows I love me some pretty photos of her, especially when she knows it. I love them. They're cute, and so you send those to me. You're looking for a reaction. Oh, you didn't get a reaction, and I'm pretty sure. The next step is she's going to call me randomly, and guess what? I'm not going to answer. There's just no point. There is no point. For what?
That's
it. But I spoke to my friend, right? My friend Holly, and she said, listen, girls just do this when they're bored, and it's like there's more. It's likely she's sending these things to more than just one guy, and whoever answers, and that's it. And whoever she likes the most, she'll put her time in. But the girl, I don't know. But I don't know why women ghost and they just don't. And men do it too.
That's like a temporary ghost that she did.
No, she haunts me apparently. I would call her a haunting. But it doesn't make any sense. Here's the simple fact of the matter is though, ghosting is another way of playing games. It is. If you're not interested in somebody, just say it. Would it hurt their feelings? Oh, I don't want to hurt your feelings. So, come on, give me a break. Why do you think that disappearing on a guy who thinks that you were into him or that was digging you is any better than telling this guy, give him a closure, hey, I'm not into you, I'm not digging you? You know what that is? It's the coward's way out. You're not trying to be nice and prevent, hurting a guy's feelings. You're being a coward. You don't want to sit there and say, listen, I'm digging you, because you don't want to hear that you hurt somebody's feelings. You don't want to hear, but I can change, or what did I do, or what do you mean? So you choose the coward's way out. Ghosting is the coward's way out, and it's a damn shame.
That's
And
like it's their way. It's their way. It's guys and girls' way of trying to get out of a situation where they don't feel like they're the bad guy or bad
exactly.
girl.
No, they're
So
they're avoiding being the bad guy, the bad girl. That's the whole point. And you know that if you say this, you might look, especially if Buddy came out of pocket for you, if Buddy showed he cared, if Buddy did some nice things for you. That's
that,
a thing, and
that's
it's a shame, but I think
that's crazy.
ghosting is the most ridiculous thing in the world, because you know for a fact you wouldn't like it done to you.
Yeah,
You know for
absolutely.
a
But
fact. You know for
yeah,
a fact
yeah.
that if you were digging somebody or not digging, even if just in the beginning, you wouldn't like it being done to you. You wouldn't. So why
I
would you
had
do it to
a
somebody else?
I had another instance actually. When I was remember when we were doing I guess the both of us, but at one time you were too. The whole swiping shit, the apps. So
I mean, I'm still on it. I don't put any stock into it. I do
yeah,
it's actually
yeah,
literally it's a distraction while I'm at work. I
yeah.
don't
That's
do
all
it.
it is.
I realize
That's
I
all
don't
it
do it
is.
when I'm at home. I don't do it when I'm on the weekend. It's only at work. I'm doing that because it's a good distraction. Time
Yeah,
flies.
yeah. And
So
then you fucking see who you see, and then you just get interested or you don't, and even if you do, it's kind of like well, for me it was like even if I did, I always felt like I was lazy enough. I was too lazy to contact him, so I would I was
yeah,
such an asshole with these things. I would go ahead and oh, so before I say that though, but more on the topic of the ghosting, I had a few of them from the apps, from different apps, ghost me. Never let it bother me. I actually thought it was humorous and funny, to be honest with you, because I took it as a I took it as a means to be myself a little bit more. And what I mean by that is I wouldn't even get this is how bad it was. I wouldn't even get the fucking girl's number. I just get ghosted on the app itself, and it's the funniest thing because I would have a good conversation, and then the part where the number has to be exchanged, and you never hear from her again.
that still happens. It still happens,
It
my
still
man.
happens.
I can be on any of the dating apps, and I could be having one. Hell, I could, but bro, I could show you conversations where I'm like, I am clearly vibing with this person. We are vibing, and then just that's it.
Yeah, cut off,
That's it. Like,
cut off.
what happened? Why are we talking about? We were doing so well, and just stuff. What did you see, or what changed your mind, or what happened? All you have to say. It happened so many times,
Yeah,
so many times. You know.
yeah, yeah. It's
I,
it's it's crazy. It's even worse too. It's like I said. It's even worse when like let's just say you got the number off the dating app and then they do it to you after you got the number. It was like you had all that energy, that mental energy that you gave me on the app with all that the good conversation, and then had the audacity to give me the number. And then once you gave me the number and I contact you, you still end up ghosting me after I get the number. Like you made you did the first two steps.
hmm
You have like a couple more steps until like I guess other things happened, but you got past the talking conversation on the app, getting the number, ding ding, and then
He said, "Ding ding."
the third fucking thing, they ghost you after you give you the number. So you don't even have their name. Sometimes I'd have random numbers on the phone because I wouldn't even have their name posted on the number. So when I know that ghosting was gonna happen, because I knew one of them was gonna do it, I would delete it. I would delete the text box,
Yep.
and then move on with my life and find out something, find who else I can talk to. It was the most redundant thing, and it's funny too because I've been hearing a lot more women's stories about how they ghost men than I do guys. Not saying that guys don't do it. Obviously, they do it
No,
too.
guys do it, but in my opinion, ghosting is more of a female thing. More so
now. It is. It's absolutely a female thing. There's no question about it. I don't care who the fuck comments us after this podcast episode. I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a lot of, well, I've had numerous guys ghost me. Well, then if that's the case, I will reply with you're the problem, not them. And
oh shit.
And no, it's fucking
that
weird.
That was so dirty. I got the hiccups now.
It's weird, man. It's fucking odd that you put all this time and effort, and then the audacity to look at the text message, and then put your phone back down, and it's still, it's fun. It's weird. It's even worse when you have the dude call you. That's the worst, because there is never. I don't care who you are. I don't care how busy you are, how many companies you own. You always answer your phone at least once.
Yep.
At least fucking once. At least once. The only excuse that you can actually have the other night, actually, I don't know if this affected you down there in Florida, but fucking T-Mobile and Sprint and Verizon, they were all down at the same time.
Yeah, T-Mobile was down here. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so we had those little outages that happened the other night. Let's just say during that outage, a couple 100,000 or more people that were in their zones talking to a significant other, and all of a sudden they never heard anything. That would be a fucked up reason, but it would be a valid reason, because that at that moment in time, no one's
that's it.
good.
That's it. Exactly. People use that as an excuse to be like, all right, cool, I can ghost on this dude. That's good. I'm out. Yeah.
And that's it. Oh shit, my fucking phone blew up in my hands when the servers were down and some shit. You make up some dumb fucking excuse, and then you're there. You're done. You ghosted, and you're good to go. But to do that just blatantly, like that guy was talking about. You know what? I'm glad he frustrated. I'm glad he was that frustrated, because it shows the level of frustration a guy goes through when that happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your everything, your endorphins, your adrenaline, your fucking cock probably all goes up. And in the next moment, that shit happens and everything is just shattered. And you feel nothing but, you feel either two things. Fucking, you don't care, or you feel just fucking pissed. You're just angry. So, oh man, I personally, I've done it that one time I gave that story before, and I've never done it again, because I really did not feel right doing that. It just felt really weird. It felt really bad. I felt bad for her. I've never spoken to her again after that. Saw her on Instagram the following year, but I don't even think she lives in New York no more. I think it's North Dakota or some shit like that. I don't know.
Oh wow, man! You ghosted her so hard, she had to move out of New York.
I don't know. It was so fucking. It felt so bad. I felt so terrible. That's something I don't want to do. I'm not really that type of person that could cause mental harm to a human being like that.
Allegedly.
I don't have it in me.
Allegedly.
I don't have it in me. Allegedly. But that one time that I did, it felt like I was like I don't know. It was
right. You felt it because you have a conscience, and because either you've done it and you wouldn't like that done to you.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason.
Nowadays.
Right. Believe it or not. Can you believe it? And that's the whole point, is that I don't see how anybody thinks that's the right way to do it, because they know. I go back to it. Yeah, call it do unto others as you have them do unto you. Call it that if you want. But what I'm saying is that why would you behave in a way that you yourself, you would not appreciate it being done to you. You would, and that's just how it is. I don't think it's I don't know. I mean, I don't really know how to say it. I'm just so disappointed in in what happened to this guy, and you could literally hear his frustration. And of course, some guys, they mask their hurt with a tough, fuck you, fuck this attitude. You know what I'm saying? And that's what. But the man was hurt. That was it. He was hurt, and so he can't express. So he expresses it out of anger, but he was hurt, and I empathize with him, because it sucks. It sucks when you think you're vibing with somebody. It sucks when you start putting in an effort to show that you care. It definitely sucks if you made plans, you came out of pocket, you took them out, you gave them your time, just for them to just disappear. You know what I'm saying? And it leaves you, and all you can do is, what did I do? What did I say? You
And
know?
that's why he
And
said
and
what he
and
said
that,
at the end.
yeah, exactly. And that stuff kind of just like it cycles inside of you because you're like, and then you start analyzing your words and analyzing your posts and analyzing what does she have access to? Did she say something that she did misunderstand? Like, and you begin to think like this. And yes, guys think like this. They do. Guys get into their own head, and it really messes with our self-esteem and messes with our ego. And it does one of two things. It makes them vulnerable and low self-esteem, or they become assholes and very rigid. And just like you said, is we fucking. So
Yeah,
that's the point, and there's no middle ground. Either a guy's ego is busted and he becomes a throw rug and he has low self-esteem, or he becomes that douchebag dick that all he wants to do is get it in and only and has no interest or has no initial interest in getting into a relationship with you because what? For what? So you can disappear? Well, at least if you disappear, I got it in. And it's funny because I've said this phrase before about girls who disappeared. Well, at least I got it in once or twice. So all the effort that I put in there you go. And it's a shame that I think like this now because the art now is try and get it in before she disappears on you. Do whatever you need to do, but if she does disappear, at least you can say, I hit that. Great, moving on. That's a
yeah, that's it.
sucky
And
way.
that's not something that
That
that's not
no,
something that most guys want to say.
that is a sucky way to look at dating. It's a sucky way to look at women. But what else are you gonna do? Because the minute you show, God forbid, you show genuine interest in a woman, and she dips without any warning, without any explanation, disappears, and then might just reappear out of nowhere.
Yeah, it's
Why?
terrible.
Oh, you're a nice guy. I wanted you to make me feel special. Man, fuck that. Come on, give me a
Yeah,
break.
it's
Give me a break.
terrible. It's terrible. That's
Final
why
thought.
he act.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Final
That,
thoughts, Mr. Joe, on either mask shaming and or ghosting.
well, look, the whole ghosting thing. This is why there's some guys and women hate this shit. But guess what? It fucking happens often, way too often. That's why guys, what like the guy said in the video, are we fucking or not? Are we going to do one thing and then just split, or are we just going to be doing one thing and continuously doing it to become a relationship? Like that's why he asked that question at the end because of frustration. I do not think that ghosting is a good idea. Unfortunately, nowadays, the dating world is riddled with this shit because now it's the new norm. The new normal is completely psychologically fucking with someone's head and dropping them like a fucking like a dime, and not hearing from them again. This is the new normal, and it's really it's not cool. It's not good. Not good to do that to somebody. Because I would love to give someone a taste of their own medicine to see how it feels, just so they can feel what that person felt. So ghosting, I'm not down for that. I think it's fucking stupid. I think the person doing it is stupid. I know that's pretty broad of a statement to say, but look,
No, I mean, for lack of a better word, you're stupid.
lack of a better word, it's fucking stupid. And if you wear a mask, I'm sorry, you're stupid too. Because
Oh shoot.
like, I look, if you have to wear it to get inside of a grocery store to buy your groceries, I do that shit too. But guess what? Shit comes right off. No one
Right
says
off.
anything. I put that right down over here the way I have it. Uh, no, half the time, more than enough. No one says anything. And I actually have I would have a lot more to say, but I think we'd be here till like 2 in the morning. So I will just end it. My version, my last comments of that is just say like, look, you want to wear your mask, wear it. Wear it at your own discretion. I promise you, it's not going to help you with anything. But if it makes you feel any good, once again, your fear is not my problem.
Ooh, I like that. You should use that as your tagline going forward. Well, for me, I mean, when it comes to mass shaming, is like I said, mind your business. Do you follow yourself? You're doing what you need to do for yourself to protect yourself or not to protect yourself. That's totally your business. What somebody else does is not your business. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I'm not, I'm not condoning, not condemning. All I am saying is that do you. Do what you need to do for yourself during this time of unprecedented crises. But don't push your agenda, don't push your feelings, don't push that stuff upon somebody else, especially provoking them so they're the ones that look crazy. I'm not about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Worry about yourself. You want to wear a mask, go for it all day every day while you're inside. You want to be quarantined all day inside. You want to do social distancing all day every day. You want to avoid being with people until it's over. That's cool. That's all totally up to you, and I respect where you're coming from. But then don't then visit that paranoia, that fear, that restriction upon somebody else. That's not up to you. Everybody is their own person, and they will deal with these crises the way they feel to deal with it. Just like not everybody mourns the same. Not everybody deals with crisis the same. Yes, there are rules, and that's totally up to them. But it's not your business to enforce what somebody else does. Do your thing. And when it comes to ghosting, stop that shit. That's it. No, stop. Just stop it. Stop it. Just bad. Be straightforward. Be straightforward. Say what you mean what you say. Be straightforward. Because I'm telling you right now, any guy any guy would rather to be rejected or dismissed than they would ever want to be ghosted. At least with a rejection, there's closure. At least being straightforward, we know what the intentions were, or what we did wrong, or what we did not do, or what we did do. That's it. Be a woman. Be mature and understand, and also put yourself in a position of that guy, good guy, bad guy, whatever he is, and for a fact for yourself, if you wouldn't appreciate being ghosted on, why would you do it to somebody else? That's it. You want to block the guy afterwards, you're more than welcome to, but please, by all means, let him know. Listen, I'm not feeling it. I'm done. Oh yeah, all right. What did I do? No, I'm done. I gotta go. Bye. At least you said something. I met somebody else. I'm not digging that you have kids. I'm not digging that you don't make this amount of money. I'm not digging that you didn't go to school. I'm not digging that you don't call me. Whatever it is, it could be whatever. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is closure and understanding, and that's it. Ghosting is not the answer. It's never the answer. Never the answer. Unless somebody's not getting the message. I get it. If you're giving somebody the business and they're not getting the message, yes, ghost them all you want. But at least you initially said, hey, check it out. Right. So please don't do it. Don't do it. So that's it for Last of the Nice Guys. Mask shaming and ghosting. I'm Jason.
And I am Joe.
And thank you for your time.
The Last of the Nice Guys. Follow, like, and subscribe on Twitter and Instagram at Last Nice Guys, Facebook.com/Last Nice Guys, or email lastoftheniceguys@yahoo.com.
This is an audio production of Vibe Revelation Studios, the cure for your common day. VibeRevStudios.com.